the whiteboard presentations on them. And I've got 3 of the 4 whiteboards I need to do that presentation. I've got to order the last one Monday. 3 foot by 4 foot times 2, and then 2 foot by 3 foot times 2. One will have the through 6 levels at 100. The other one will have at 30 through 6 levels, but using by 10. And then the third small whiteboard will be for all of the benefits why you should get into Trunited, like no breakage, not for profit, pays 15 levels, and we can go by January. Hopefully we can go. And last month we paid 23, 24, 25. Hopefully, because they're not running Apple Vingo. That's what drove the point down a penny, was because they were trying to clear the warehouse of all the Apple, and they were shipping, instead of shipping 1 case, they were shipping 2 cases at a time. And I think Carlos was saying each time they ship a double case, it's $16.
Ouch.
Yeah, so that hits the pool. That hits the pool pretty hard. Anyway, we're, all I need, I feel like my hands are tied. All I really need is some percentages, and if we had, like you're talking about, free coffee, we could build I think we could build an empire on the backs of Starbucks. And here's the cool thing, like Starbucks is going to allow us to promote, because people are buying, 10, 20, 30 cards at a time. And I see Gladys just dropped in. I believe that's correct, for sure. But if it's just a matter of doing the presentations, placing it maybe on a universal site, and literally have it to where we could go direct. So if someone said, well, how does that free coffee work? Or how does that free gas work? Or how does that, because the percentages, of course, may be different, 2%, 3%, 5%, 8, 10. But there again, Home Depot, if Home Depot comes in at a good percentage, Home Depot by itself could make us a fortune. So same way with Kohl's. And Kohl's was at 5%, and Starbucks was at 5% with gift card mall. So going by what Mike said, man, if it's just 10 on either one, we can make it awesome.
Oh goodness!
Scratchy. Gladys, if that's you, you might mute unless you're ready to talk. There we go. Had just a little bit of scratching. There you go. Thank you. So anyway, Rev, what's your thoughts? And I'm ready for Phoenix. How about you? You getting there?
I could have left 2 days ago.
Oh yeah. Me too. I'm definitely ready.
I've been ready. I just need to go when my flight says it's time for me to go. And so I wish I'd have booked a day earlier so I could get there a day earlier and hang out an extra day. But as it is, I'm cutting it short. So right now, I am stoked beyond belief about Phoenix.
Yeah.
Because that's when all the cookies will be laid on the table. The cards will be laid on the table.
Yeah.
And we'll have all the details. And we can move out.
Right.
So, Steve, if possible, if you could forward PDFs whenever you think it's secure enough to get cards and magnets and whatever not that we want, I would appreciate that.
Right.
I don't have the money now. I'm pretty much shortchanged myself because of trying to hit 100 points with 6 different people.
Right.
Paid off several people to do that.
Yeah.
And so it's left me short on funds this month.
I was going to say, I'm going to say it this way. We do what we do to get there, whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say it this way, guys, and I love Kevin Weldon like he's my brother. And
yeah.
I will tell you, with Kevin, guys, you got to think in March or April, he's going to Bob Proctor's big deal up there for a week. And guys, some of you know it, some of you don't. That cost him $15,500 for a week, guys. So whenever you look at that and see it's an investment, I feel
Hey, Steve, I'm trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 15 grand. I want to do that, man.
Yeah. Stevie, yeah, there you go. Thank you. It's like, okay. Yeah, Jim, yeah, I definitely agree with you. And, I talked about that on the call the other day. I spent 3 days with Jim Rohn. And then, the Jim Rohn weekend was Saturday and Sunday. So I came in 3 days early, spent 3 days with Jim, and literally I didn't live with him, but literally we spent 3 days together, and I went on to do 7 figures with another company after that weekend. So for Kevin to step up to the plate and pay that kind of money to do that, but and I'll say, Kevin makes good money with UG. He also makes good money with Trunited, and if nothing else, he could use his UG funds to cover that whole thing over a period of 7 months. So it's kind of like, yeah. And here's the cool thing, guys: when you pay that much money, that is literally a tax write-off. Mm-hmm. So I mean, if somebody said, "Steve, would you pay that?" I don't necessarily know, guys, that I would. In any other company, maybe I'd say yes, but because of what we're doing, and I say this on my calls, and I don't want to ever offend anybody, for doing it or for paying that. But the way I look at it is well, let's see. And Jim, I'm going to use you since you're unmuted. I'm going to use you. In everyday life, Jim could make a tally on what he spends on the 1st, the 2nd, the 5th, the 10th, and you go all the way through there. And what you realize is that if Jim just converts what he does each day, all of a sudden you look up and Jim's got 100, 110, 120, 150 points. And if he teaches the exact same thing to 10 people that teach it to 10, that teach it to 10, even if it took 2 years and you built out through 5 levels, 5 levels, you're making 6 figures a month into the 5th. And it's no more, guys, now it's no more than just converting your shopping. And what I'm so excited about is the instant points. I mean, guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm like Kevin. I've got 1,000 people that are gray, and the reason they're gray is because they had a bad experience with Gift Card Mall, Home Depot, whatever. No, I did this order for $700 and the points are gone and nothing, whatever, and then it takes them hours to get it corrected with Home Depot and corporate, and they finally figure it out, and boom, they get it figured out, and by then the person, it's like calling AT&T and talking to them for an hour. By the time you're done, you're wanting to dump them and get Verizon. Well, it's no different in what we're doing. So, for us, once we go to instant point, it's Katie bar the door. and I know everybody on my call, everybody on every call, once they figure it out, they do one transaction, and mine would be brand bucks, identified a right card, got 80 points, and it was right there. You hand that to anybody in, anywhere in the world, as far as I'm concerned. The minute they see that points is right there in front of you, and they go, I could get 10 of my leaders to do that. And the 10 of the leaders are all going to say, I can get my 10 leaders to do that. And you're going to see, just like Mike said, he believes by himself he could put in 1 million people in 2019. And I'll follow his lead because I know I can put in 10, and I can help the 10 get 10, and I can help the 10's 10 get 10. Now, I don't want to go start putting in 10,000 people, but I can sure help 10, 100, and 1,000. I don't have a problem with that at all. So, for me, a little extra work, we have to use rotators. But if I can convince them that we need holding tanks, I will. I mean, I definitely would. If we can get a holding tank, guys, that means like I could do a deal with the Apple app, and I've already got access to that. And if we do that, and I didn't know this, but on a daily basis, it goes to 2 to 3 million people. But in a monthly, there's 40 million viewers that could actually see it. So, for me, when I look at that, and I explain that to Scott and Jarvis, is look, guys, what if I sign 100 people and they come from an app, or they come from LinkedIn, or they come from Snapchat, Instagram, wherever I might be doing some kind of promotion, and all of a sudden 100 people pile in, and then I'm calling you. That's who I'm calling. I'm calling Scott and Jarvis. Okay, remember that I was talking about that holding tank, and we couldn't get that put in place? I just want to let you know, I need to move these 100 people around. I don't want them on the front line. I need to put 10 underneath Reverend Dave. I need to put 10 underneath Bonnie. I need to put 10, and you're moving all these people. And do I have a way to get a hold of them? Unless they check that box, I want a one-on-one consultation. You have a way to get a hold of them.
Right.
So that has got to be. Now, I mean, I told them, I said, you guys think hard, please get that put in place, and make it in the back office, make it an option. Make it to where Reverend Dave goes, I want to do that. And he opens it up. Or Jim says, I want to do that. And he opens it up. Same way for me. I open it up, and then I've got this box that's live, and it works. Now, for, let's say, one person comes in, and Jim, I'm always saying Jim, so Jim Johnson joins us, and all he wants to do is buy Healthy Vita vitamins and 1 case of Bingo. And he doesn't care nothing else about the business. He's just in the business, and boom. So in his back office, he's never going to open that tool up and make it to where we can open the tool up and be able to use it. So the builders could. So, I'll fight for it, guys. I'll keep on. I'll keep on and say, look, guys, that's something that, and that was my comment on the BDC was, look, guys, if we put 1 million people in 2019, how many hours is it going to take customer service to maybe move, let's do small numbers, to move 10,000 people? How long does it take you guys to move 10,000 people? And how much time do people have to waste on the phones and getting that person to call you, and just all the stuff? I mean, Rev, you've done it. I've done it. Whoa.
We got to have the holding tank. You're right.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. If we can get a holding tank, what that does is we can go out and promote. Let's just use, like one of mine, I've got it on livelifeandgetpaid.com. And literally, I'm doing ad campaigns on 5 different sites, but I'm physically walking up to people and giving them a flyer that says free coffee for life, free gas for life, whatever we decide and whatever we come up with. all of a sudden, that day 100 people sign on. When I go home and open up my back office and it's got 100 people, see, if that one day is like that, that means every person that knows me or is on my calls or that uses our system can do exactly what I did that day, and they can do 100. And then what we're golden thing we're after 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, and then Dr. Nico says, "Oh, hey, guess what? Here you guys go. Here's a Trunited branded Visa that gives you points back." And then all of a sudden you see people using that Visa to make their car payment, their house payment, they're buying their insurance with it. They're doing everything with it because that is a cash cow making match point machine because it's a Visa and it can be used at a restaurant, at a gas pump, for your utilities, for everything. So, that's kind of where I'm at is like, so our base needs to be, same thing when I talk to U.S. Bank, needs to be 100,000. So I know that's what he's shooting for is 100,000. So what we need big builders coming
100,000 active, not just.
Needs to be 100,000 active. It doesn't need to be grays. It needs to be active. And for us, that is no more than with the instant points. Literally, January 1st, Rev, if you put in 10, Jim, you put in 10, Gladys puts in 10, I put in 10, and them 10 are duplicating on Tuesday. So let's say Monday's the first, Tuesday the second, third, and they're duplicating. We actually could see 10,000 people in that first week that get 10 each. We're at 100,000. And because it's instant points, they're all going to be alive. As where before, we had that good old gift card mall go, "We're sorry. We don't believe your payment went through, so here's your money back, and we're not going to sell you this card." And, I mean, when they did that to me 4 out of 5 times, I went, "I'll never touch it again." And Kevin goes, no, give him another chance, whatever. Nope, I'm sorry. You can do it to me once. You can do it to me twice. When you do it to the third time, by the third time, I'm so mad I can't stand it. And then Christine did it once, and they rejected her too. And I went, "Sorry, I make too much money. I have too much money. You guys are not going to do that to me." And, and we did the restaurant thing. Like Kevin said, we were physically in on the border, and we did the card. And I'm sitting here waiting, and I'm waiting on it because he says, it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, sometimes at the most. Order it when we got there. Guess what? It didn't come till the next day. I'm glad, y'all aren't open 24 hours. I'd still be sitting there trying to pay the bill, whatever, So we just paid the bill, and the next day they go, "Oh, this glitch happened, so here's your card," and we'd already ate there the day before. So, that is the issues that Dr. Nico wanted to get away from, is all of the conveyor belt, all of the middleman, all of the everything. So the minute I hit, I don't want to project anything, but the minute I hit $100 on the border card, it gives me 5 points, gives me 8 points, gives me 10 points, whatever. And, I said it on my calls before, and I love saying that, guys, look, if we build hard, and I don't think it was Rev, but I think it might have been Larry Lowenstein was saying, if Popovich says he can put in $1 million in 2019, I'd settle for putting in 100,000.
That was me.
It was, okay. So 100,000, and on January 1st, and I hadn't looked at the calendar, guys, so I'm going to say January 1st, it's a Monday, and you have 100,000.
Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday, thanks. Okay, so it's a Tuesday, the 1st, and the years went by. You have 100,000 people in your 15 levels that you're getting paid on, and 100,000 people that morning do 10 points. And you're at 100 points plus, which you always are. You just made $250,000. Would we have any problem with that at all? In one day, 10 points? Yeah, you got it. So,
Show me the money.
Yeah, show me.
And Steve, I hate to tell you this, but I think you're preaching to the choir. But I'm recording this, so we're getting it on tape, and
Yeah, that's fine.
we're gonna circulate this to the good people who can't be here today.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you a question about brand bucks. Are they going to start including other vendors like Organifi and so on? And is Organifi going to come back in stock with the warehouse before they close up shop? Because green is out of stock again.
Gold is gone. Gold's not even.
Yeah.
Gold's completely gone. I was going to order 2 today.
Well, so is green. Green is all gone.
Yeah. Here's what I understand on brand bucks. Each company has to work with Dr. Nico and Carlos to set the percentage amount that they would accept on a brand buck. If they cannot come to an agreement, then they have to agree to literally just say, okay, well, we were with you on the big awards brands. We would like to stay that way. And here's the percentage. And what would happen with that is Carlos would have to make the deal to make it to where they ship it and we don't. So, and it's going to be, and I'll use a perfect example. Black Friday and Cyber Monday, ZAL 40 was the code, and I got 40 off on everything I bought. So we bought 3 or 4 keto drives. We bought MCT. We bought a ton of ZAL products at 40, and we bought almost everything that was out in the back office under big reward brands because they were completely out, and they're still out. So, at 40 off, well, here's the deal. If you're dealing directly with ZAL and you can buy at that good of prices, I see no reason why ZAL wouldn't come back to us and say, okay, we can't do the brand bucks deal. There's no reason why they won't. I can't see it because even like with Phytorite, I think for Phytorite, I think it's actually a better deal for him. But when I'm talking with people on the calls, I try to say this. People, please understand, it has nothing to do, and I want to use that point would be, I go to Organifi and I buy, and guys, I want to pop the points up just a little bit. I buy a Organifi tub of vanilla protein shake mix, and it's $80, and it pays 30 points. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because in my example, I have to use 30 points, so that's the reason I'm saying it. People go, wow, that's $80, and they have this in their mindset that that's an expensive product. But I will tell you this, and Christine's in the other room, she can back me up, guys. Since we've been on Organifi and Keto Drive and everything that we've been on, our money that we spend on groceries has actually been cut in half or lower. That stuff is actually almost free, and that is not a joke. And guys, when I talk to people, I try to get them to understand that if that paid 30 points, and you had, and I'll use Reverend Dave, use that big number. Year went by, and that total group that you were being paid on, and guys, get this, the total group you're being paid on is 100,000, and they go each do 10 points. That's 1,000,000 points. Guys, if you were at 100 points and you had the right qualifications, and you spent the $80, and it's probably more than that, guys, because you really need to be at 100 points. If you're collecting on all 15 levels, you for sure do. But in the example, I wanted to use it that way, is what people don't understand is the point match. They always think, wow, man, I'm spending $250. I'll just use a number, $250 to get 100 points. Now, we all know with brand bucks, and I think, Rev, you were the one that brought this up, Joe Matthews, the same thing, about 130 will get you 100 points if you were just point shopping. You were just getting your points. And you had 100 points, and all of a sudden you were paid on 100,000 people that did 10 points apiece. And you were paid $250,000 at 0.25. Did you really care how much money you just spent on that tub, or on 5 greens, 2 yellows, 4 reds, whatever? Your bill came up to $500. Now, let me see. If you're making $250,000, guys, you're going to need a big tax write-off. I'll be buying it $3,000 at a time, not 300, 200, 250, whatever. Guys, when you make more money, you have to spend more money. You have to. Your taxes make you spend more money. And I'll do a tax call. I'll prove it to you. So, you know, when we look at that, the numbers, as you grow into the numbers, you have to spend more. And so for me, and you can do, and I've heard this from Kevin, Darren, I've heard it from all of them. You can buy it. It's a tax write-off. And if you wanted to give it away, you can give it away. You can do it to give it away as gifts. You can give it away to friends, relatives, whatever. Try this product. Man, Rev, I use that product for a month. Look at me. I look 10 years younger. Got it. How can I get it? How can I buy that stuff? They're on Ciela, and they're buying it every month, and you picked up somebody that's doing 100 points every month just because they love the product.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's kind of, you know, for me, we got our hands on a monster, and you know that. And Jim, everybody on this call knows it. I'm telling you, guys, what we have coming is unlike anything that's ever been brought to the industry, because it's a not-for-profit. That's our one key sentence. I'm telling you guys, there's not another not-for-profit that pays out, and I'll say 20%, because we're at 21 last month. But because we're losing the warehouse, we're losing the shipping coming out of the pool, we're going to see 25s, 27s, 28s, 30s. We're going to see that. And if you do the math when it's 30 points. You know, 30%. That's the $30 per 100. So all of a sudden, and guys, I don't want to trick everybody, but what happens when you have 1 million points? Now that's 300,000. You just got a $58,000 raise, just because the point value went from 23 to 30. See, people are not looking at the long term of this, and what happens to the day when a year goes by, maybe 2 years goes by, and we're at 0.50. If you're already making $10,000 a month, went from 25 to 50. Look, guys, all of a sudden your income doubled. See, and what people is it worth building your time to build the groups? Yes, it is. It's worth your time. Put it in. Keep building. Keep building. Keep building. So anyway, Rev, I always take over your call.
That's okay. That's what I wanted. I wanted to hear the news,
Yeah.
and I want to make sure anybody who has questions gets them answered. So, Stevie or Gloria, do you have questions we can answer, or Jim? Anything at all? Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question of either me, Steve, or Jim, or anybody. And if we know the answer, we'll give it to you.
Absolutely.
How often is the BDC meetings, and when is the next one?
Next one will probably be right before we go to Phoenix. And I know the only person that has seen the new website with the new software with no links, and I want to verify, I want to say it that when I say no links, guys, Priceline's the only link that's going to be left. So your travel link is the only one that's a physical link that physically works. Everything else will be Home Depot. Click on Home Depot and retail brands, and it takes you right to a card that pays you instantly. and it's whatever, 25, 50, 100, 250, 500. And you click on it, you buy it, and your points are instant. There they are. Boom, you're done. And then you go to homedepot.com and completely, you don't even do the follow through. So for us, here's the cool thing, guys. Look at this. Brand new software. And remember, we're going to bring on 1 million people next year. Guys, they don't know about we had problems with the gift card mall. They don't know about that we used to have to wait for our points 30, 60, 90 days. All that's brand new. So for us, the minute we run with that, we don't ever have to bring up, well, used to we did it this way. Used to it was like this. What? Because that's discouraging and it's negative. So
what they don't know won't hurt them.
Amen on that. Amen. So, I'm excited about what we have coming. I know Mike is the only one that was privileged enough to see. And when I tell you what he said on his call, and most of you guys were probably on that call, Mike said straight up, guys, with what we have coming, I personally can put in 1 million people. That's Mike saying, I can build 1 million people in this company. And here's the cool thing, guys, and I don't want to say it this way because it sounds really tacky. Rev, let's just take off for a year. Jim, take off for a year. Gladys, take off for a year. Mike puts 1 million people in. What will happen? The point value will probably be 50, 60 or more. I mean, so we'd want to work the whole time. But here's the thing, and what most people don't realize with the 360 comp plan is if I help Jim and Rev become legends, okay, what happens there is their people bring the point value up, and at the same time, let's say I'm at 10,000 a month, and we're at 23, and because Jim and Rev are legends, the point value went from 23 to 46. And nothing changed. My group did the exact same amount of points, and now instead of being at 10,000 a month, I'm at 20, because these two guys became legends, and the point value rose. That's the problem. Is people don't understand the comp plan. That if I can go out of my way and help Jim, and Jim, you and Lee are the only two that are on my call that are not in my lineage. But I will tell you, I'll answer the phone for either one of you anytime, and anytime you need help, I'm there. Because if Jim and Lee and anybody in the whole company's successful, the point value comes up, which gives me a raise, gives Rev a raise, gives anybody that's listening to this call a raise. And once you understand that's the way Nico built it on purpose, it's like, literally, you should be, seriously, not right now, guys, I don't think I could sign 10 a day. But boy, you give me the new enhancements and you give me the new stuff that's coming in January, I think everybody in the whole company can do 10 a day, because we no longer have, oh, I'm sorry, your points didn't get awarded. Yeah, we'll get that fixed, but still they'll be on hold for 90 days, whatever. See, well, none of that. Boom. Guy goes, boom. Hey, wow, man, I got 50 points today. You had 1,000 people, 50 points, 50,000 points, you're making 12,500. So let's talk small numbers. I mean, I can live on 12,500. Anybody else? Anybody? I mean, I can.
I can make ends meet.
Yeah, I could too. And that's why if I had that, that's kind of where I'm at. But definitely excited. I mean, excited about everything, and we just have to know. And here's and I'll say it this way, guys. Here's the scary thing. Do you know when Dr. Nico releases what he releases in December? And we get instant points on that. We get brand bucks rolling. We go international. You realize by February or March, he'll have already came up with something else to make us even more money. Because that's just the way Dr. Nico is. And he's done it repetitively for the last, I've been in a year. He's done it for every month. He figures something out. He changes something. He makes the back office better. And, it just keeps getting better and better and better. And so when I say that, just about the time we get out there and we're rocking and we're building like crazy, then all of a sudden he'll add something else that makes us even more money or makes the point value go up 5 cents. You know, so we just have to know that he's going to do that, and know what I thought. And I said it a year ago. Rep can back me up on it, guys. I would bet everything that I own, every penny that I own, my retirement, anything that I have on, if I follow Dr. Nico, one day I will be doing what Dr. Nico's doing. And I think it was Reverend Dave that said that. I could truly live a good life on, and I know Larry said it too for sure. I could truly live a great life on $800,000 a month. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can't even fathom having $800,000 a month deposited into your account. But he's done it with Reese's. So that is his company, and he gets that each and every month. And following Dr. Nico, knowing that we will never have a financial low ever. Now, stop and clear your mind and think about a person in his basement that just opened up a CBD company or a globally new wipe-on gel's doing so good, I better open up a company and make a competitor to New You Life. So guy opens up globally, and here he goes. He's doing a copycat company to HGH gel for New You Life. CBD companies, 127 and counting on CBD. Yes, it's the hottest industry in the world. I don't know about you guys. I'd rather have 100,000 people buying one CBD product a month, and that one product is all in my 15 levels, and just person buying one product just made me $250,000. We're in the right spot. We are in the right spot. So, you know, I'm definitely excited. I know where we're going, and I know all you guys know where we're going to, and girls. That's a you'll hear me say guys a lot. I always mean guys and girls mixed together. But I'm excited about what we're doing, and I believe no matter what, you'll find that if you'll just each day keep pushing forward and keep sharing. And I'll say this, guys. Now I've got two. And Rev, your guy. Did we ever hear more from your guy from Mona V?
No, he pretty much hung up on me.
Okay, that's still okay.
He's doing his thing, so he'll come back when he sees the.
Well, I want to say that. Here's the main thing is because Rev went out of his way to show this guy what we have. There's a chance at one point he'll come back and he'll say, boy, Rev, I'm telling you what, I have like 15 people a month hitting me on that. Can I still get in with you? And I'm just going to tell you, I got the same thing with Brian, one of my guys. Guy is a previous 7-figure earner, and he sent me a message the other day. He said, Steve, I hear, that's a good thing, I hear you're still doing really well with that company. And I responded back to him and said, yes, we'll be having dinner with Dr. Nico again, and really would like to get you and Dr. Nico together, or you and Mike Popovich together, and bring you into this business. And so, you know, what we have to do is we always have to just continually drip. And that's my favorite word, guys, because if you drip, and, you know, like for me, I've got one leg that has 5 networkers combined together. They've done 8 figures a month between the 5. If I could wake them all up at the same time, I'd have that one would be a power leg. But remember, it's only one leg. One leg's not ever going to do me anything. I have to have 9, and I'm building 10. and Christine's my 10th. So I'll concentrate on 9, and then Christine. Every time I get a person that says, "Oh yeah, I'm coming from so and so company, and I've got this big group, whatever," she is automatically going to go to the domain that says "Let's Go Shop," which is Christine. Let's Go Shop, and it's going to go to there. And also, something cool, guys. And I've never, and I didn't write it down, and I just thought about it because I made that Let's Go Shop with the new software. There's no longer user in there. So it's going to be for me, it would be the domain Trunited.com/no limits. No more user. They're getting rid of that. Here's the cool thing. I've been doing promotions for a year, and it's out there everywhere. And if anybody goes to my previous link, the software will pick it up and make them land on /no limits, even without the user. So if they go to the original where it says user /no limits, they're automatically going to land where they need to land. And so that's good. So I'm happy about that. But, when we do promotions, and I go back to the holding tank, I am, and I say it repetitively, I do not want to go wide. I do not. I'm not a person. I've been in the industry 35 years. I do not like building wide. And even if I build depth, and I didn't explain on the call that was recorded. If you're recording this one, this will give you the explanation. If I'm building 10 that have 100, that have 1,000, that have 10,000, what is the only thing that saves me in that scenario? And then there's 1 million people on the 6th level. Dynamic compression. Because we have dynamic compression. Do I care if 500 people on the 4th level don't do nothing and they sit there? I don't, because the next level is going to fill that one, and the level after that's going to fill that one, and dynamic compression is going to keep everything compressed to me. So if one person doesn't get it, do I care? No, I don't. And so do I put 10 people underneath that person and keep going? I don't have an issue with that at all, because if that person looks in his back office and go, "Wow, I have 90 people, and out of 90, I've got 30 people that have orders. I'm not missing that. I'm doing 30, 50, 70, 100, 150, whatever he needs to do to collect that check." And once he collects that check one time, I'll never lose it. I'll never lose that money.
Steve?
Go ahead.
I have to go.
Okay, and let's go ahead, tell everybody good night, and we also have another call, 11 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to tell that?
Personal developments, it's at freedomministries.org, and tune in and listen to Mike. He's great.
Awesome, definitely.
Thank you.
And Rev will talk to you. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you listening to me and listening to Rev. Sorry about that, Rev. Always